Hello and good evening to everyone who participate in this webinar. My name is Anas, your presenter. So for today, we are going to learn a bit about the ANSYS Discovery Live. So today's webinar is about the introduction to ANSYS Discovery Live. So for the agenda for today, we are going to start with a bit of introduction. We give you the introduction of CYBERNET systems, and then the overview of ANSYS product. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the concept behind the ANSYS Discovery Live itself, and then some function of ANSYS Discovery SpaceClaim and Discovery Live. Now you heard about, you may be wondering about why are we talking about Discovery SpaceClaim when the title is about Discovery Live. Later on, I will show you just how important Discovery SpaceClaim is to Discovery Live. After that, we are going to continue with some demonstration. I'm going to show you a simple procedure of simulation of ANSYS Discovery Live. I will include structural simulation and also fluid simulation. Later on, I will give you a little bit information about how to get the ANSYS Discovery Live, a little bit more information about the license, the price, and also how to get the trial. And then later on, finally, we will wrap up our webinar with a Q&A session. So feel free to drop any kind of any question on the chat box. So a little bit of introduction to CYBERNET system. CYBERNET system is the main office of the CYBERNET system Ltd is in Tokyo, established in 1985 with a 995 million yen of capital. The number of employees in CYBERNET system is around 593, consolidated with 366 individuals. At this point in time, I believe more than 50% of the employees of the CYBERNET system consists of engineers. With the rest, it basically consists of management, sales, and also marketing. We are dealing with business of providing a CAE simulation and also IT solution. That includes the product sales, contract analysis, consulting, and also some software development. But mainly we are provision of CAE solutions. We have a developer partner, more than 20 companies, mainly in the United States, including ANSYS, and also Synopsys and Symantec. So we have a consolidated subsidiary. We have like different type of subsidiary. We have development subsidiary and also sales subsidiary. Development subsidiary consists of Symmetrics, Microsoft in Canada, and Oasis Solution NV in Belgium. Now, for the sales subsidiary, we have CYBERNET, which is located in China, Taiwan, Korea, and also right here in Malaysia. CYBERNET is working with overseas group companies to develop software that will help customers not only in Japan, but also around the world, and to develop our group products and solutions overseas. So a little bit of background of CYBERNET Systems Malaysia. CYBERNET Systems Malaysia was established in November 2018 as the fourth subsidiary in Asia. Our office is located in KL Eco City in Kuala Lumpur. Our current employees is around five people. The business is the same as the rest of the CYBERNET systems around the world. We're dealing with CAE solutions, Internet of Things, big data solutions, also professional services. Our partners include ANSYS, Synopsys, Hitachi Astefan, EDAM, and also Wings Malaysia. So this is like the overview of the solutions that is provided by the CYBERNET system. We have CAE solution, AR and VR visualization solution, big data solution, digital twin, IT solution, and also engineering service. So let's get on with the overview of ANSYS product. Now ANSYS is founded in 1970. So basically ANSYS has been around for more than 50 years now. During that time, ANSYS has been top of the range, best-in-class simulation software provider in multiple physics. As you can see right here on the screen, where ANSYS provide a solution for structures, fluids, electromagnetics, semiconductors, system, embedded software, and partners network. The newest addition to the family is the 3D design, also known as the Discovery products. Now, the Discovery products were created as a 3D design products that significantly reduce the initial design development cost. Now, I will explain to you a little bit more about where does the Discovery Life fit into the design analysis cycle. So, the concept of ANSYS Discovery Life. So, usually in the product development cycle, we have two different group of people. We say two different departments. We have the designer and also we have the analysis specialist. Now, these two group of people have a very specific job. The designer is to design a conceptual design, an initial idealization of the model, where the analysis specialist is to validate the design that has been made by the designer. Now, this process usually goes like this. The designer will start with a different type of design concepts. And then after the design concept has been done, this design will be given to the analysis specialist for the validation. Now, after the validation, there might be something wrong with the design because it's still in the initial stage of the development. And therefore, the design needs to be sent back to the designer to be reworked and then remodify and refix the model. These back and forth processes could take some time and therefore reduce the productivity of the whole range of the production. Now here is where the Discovery Life came into play. So basically, the Discovery Life can be used to bridge the gaps between the designers and also the analysis specialists. What it does is basically share the workload of validation by doing analysis on the model to the designer. Instead of waiting for the validation from the analysis specialist, the designer themselves can run the analysis by themselves, and therefore significantly reduces time of waiting for the validation from the analysis specialist. Now, this is one of the key points of the Discovery Life. It does help improve the workflow between the designer and also the analysis specialist. So the concept of visual prototyping. First, you have your idea. This is basically for the designer. You start off with your idea, then you go with the visual designing by CAD, and then you go with the visual testing by CAE. Now, what Discovery Life can do for you is basically give the rough exploration in your mind, and then give this opportunity to the designer to be more flexible in terms of designing their initial concept, because the capability of analyze their own model or concept has been given by them through Discovery SpaceClaim and also the Discovery Life. It also, the fast modeling can be achieved using the Discovery SpaceClaim, and then the fast simulation can be achieved by using the Discovery Life. So let's talk a little bit about ANSYS Discovery SpaceClaim. What is ANSYS Discovery SpaceClaim, you might ask? So the Discovery SpaceClaim is basically a multi-purpose 3D modeling application built on the direct modeling technology. If you ever used a CAD modeling before, you're probably familiar with a history-based modeling. Now, the direct modeling technology is a different type of way you model your CAD data, where the history-based modeling focus on the parametric of the model. The direct modeling focus more on the geometry itself. Now, the advantage of direct modeling technology is it is intuitive and simple to operate. It is also easy to reuse of existing CAD data because SpaceClaim is famous for the ability to read all sorts of different type of CAD formats. It also have the capability of complete model preparation function for CAE, so you can prepare your model perfectly to be used for analysis. And also it has standard features for reverse engineering. So the first feature of Discovery SpaceClaim, it is intuitive and simple to operate. You can do all sorts of things using just these 4 basic tools you see right here on the screen. Now, the 4 basic tools is called the pull tool, the move tool, the fill tool, and also the combine tool. These 4 tools will be used almost all of the time if you're dealing with geometry inside the SpaceClaim. Now, these tools helps to make it easy to understand because you edit the model shape directly, unlike if you're dealing with the history-based model. It is also easy to learn and no need for long training. Next, easy reuse of existing CAD data. Like I mentioned before, Discovery SpaceClaim is famous for the ability to read a different type of CAD data. So here, as you can see right here on the screen, you can read all sorts of data from different kind of other CAD software. You can read the CATIA files, SolidWorks, Solidash, and also general purpose file format like STEP and IGS. You can have a 3D CAD kernel format like Parasolid, so on and so forth. So the next feature of Discovery SpaceClaim is the model preparation function for the CAE. What does it mean is that basically Discovery SpaceClaim have the ability to prepare your model perfectly to be used in the analysis environment. For example, you can see right here in the picture, there's a bit of missing face on the geometry. Now, if you're just going to upload this geometry inside the CAE environment, you will not get the result that you want because the geometry is not really that good and have some defects on it. The Discovery SpaceClaim, it has the ability to detect the missing face automatically and then fix it automatically. It also has a capability of detecting and removal of split edge, incorrect edge, microfaces, interference points, so on and so forth. Also, if you are interested in changing a solid into a shell, so basically a plane, a surface type of model, you can use a neutral plane capabilities of Discovery SpaceClaim. For example, if you want to make an internal fluid analysis, you can use JStrack volume for internal area right here. You can create an enclosure for external fluid analysis. You can merge face if there's a problem with the face and then you think if it's merged, it will be much better. You can do that in the Discovery SpaceClaim. Spot definition for spot welding. If you are interested in spot welding, Discovery SpaceClaim can define the spot welding easily. Now, another features of Discovery SpaceClaim is reverse engineering. One of the features is create surface fitted to mesh data such as STL. Now, as you probably don't know, STL is a mesh data, so sometimes cannot be used in the CAE environment. Therefore, with the feature of reverse engineering, you can map the surface of, say, for example, this model right here. And then after you map all the surface of this model, you can change it into a solid. And then that solid can be used for analysis. It is also possible to create a solid model by referring to mesh. This is basically the capability of abstract curves and modeling feature will help you in dealing with mesh data such as STL more easily. So we get into the ANSYS Discovery Live. So the product concept, I hope by now you already understand of what the Discovery Live is, what Discovery Live can do. So the product concept of Discovery Live, it is basically a fully integrated design and analysis. That is the main key of the Discovery Live, design and analysis. Most of the CAD product can have a good modeling capabilities, but they doesn't have the analysis capability. Even if they have the analysis capability, it will not be as fast and as good as the one that Discovery Live is offer. As you can see in the picture right here, the instant result update between the design change to the stress update is almost instantaneous. I will demonstrate to you after this. So for the meantime, that is basically it. The design change, any design change you do in the Discovery Live will be interpreted into an instant stress update. Therefore, you get immediate result for every change that you've done. That is the main key of the Discovery Live. The Discovery Live dramatically improved the design process. One of the attractive feature of the Discovery Live is that you can analyze without the CAE specific work. Now, if you have been working with the CAE environment before, and then if you are thinking like doing just a little bit of analysis that doesn't need to be very specific or doesn't need to be very accurate, Discovery Live can also be one of the product for you, because you don't need GCAE specific work such as meshing, so on and so forth. Like I said before, the waiting time for the result to come out after every geometric change is almost instantaneous, and therefore it's basically no waiting time from the design change to the result. For conventional process, like I mentioned earlier before, you started off with the design, then you go with the preparation, and then to be analyzed. Then after the analysis has been done, there's a fault on the design. There's a bit of waiting time, and then wait for the design change. Wait for the design to be changed again, and then go back to the analysis process, and then it can be confirmed. So this back and forth process can be time consuming. But with ANSYS Discovery Live, it blends the design and analysis into one software or one environment. And therefore you can do all this back and forth process right here at the same time. And then straight go to the validation for final confirmation. And then you are good to go. So I'm going to show you a little bit like a simple video demonstration of the Discovery Live.
Design performance and experimentation on the most complex models is free and instant. It means no problems with model integrity or things like meshing, as you see immediate insight and trends into your designs. It means having an interactive simulation experience where you test your ideas in real time. Discovery Live provides the insight you need at the speed you demand.
Yeah, so there's a little demonstration of what you can expect from the discovery line. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to show you right now is the key features of discovery line. What type of analysis that you can do in the discovery line? There is a variety of ANSYS discovery life simulation that you can choose from. It is range from structural analysis to thermal analysis to internal and external fluid flow, model analysis for vibration, and then you can also do the topology optimization in the discovery line. So the analysis function, like I mentioned before, you have structural analysis, model, heat transfer, DC current analysis. You can also do couple analysis in the discovery life, and also topology optimization analysis. Now this feature came during the 2019 R3 version of the discovery life. The modeling feature of discovery life is basically similar to the discovery SpaceClaim. That's why I explained about the discovery SpaceClaim at first, because the modeling feature of the discovery life is similar to the discovery SpaceClaim. You can think of it like this: the discovery life have two types of features or function. You have the modeling features and you have the analysis features. The modeling features is similar to the discovery SpaceClaim, and the analysis function is the one that I've just showed you in the video just now, very fast, instantaneous result. So continue with the key features of discovery live. First, we have structural analysis, or some might call it strength analysis or stress analysis. Now, this analysis is to observe the amount of deformation and stress value of the object when a load is applied to it. In discovery life, it only supports static analysis for now, and also it only supports linear type of analysis. So any type of non-linearity, such as material non-linearity, such as plasticity, does not correspond in the discovery life. For the structural analysis, the result will be displayed as stress distribution map, deformation animation, so on and so forth. Next, we have model analysis of eigenvalue analysis. This analysis is to find the natural frequency and eigenmode of the object. It supports up to 6 modes of eigenvalue. So you can see 6 different modes of your model. The result will be displayed as a transformation animation and also the eigenmode. Next, we have a thermal analysis. Now, this analysis is to observe the temperature distribution of solids. Heat transfer with the atmosphere is handled by setting the heat transfer coefficient to the outer surface. But currently, it is non-compliant with analysis including fluid, the basically conjugate heat transfer. Currently, is non-compliant with the discovery life. Discovery life for thermal analysis does support steady and transient analysis. The result will be displayed as a temperature and also heat flux distribution. So next we have fluid analysis or thermal fluid analysis. You can assign the temperature for your fluid. This analysis is to observe the pressure distribution and flow velocity. It supports both internal flow and also external flow analysis. Like I mentioned before, it supports unsteady flow and also the turbulent flow. It supports thermal fluid analysis, and also convection can also be considered here. The result will be displayed as flow velocity, pressure, temperature, and also streamline. There's a lot more of ways to display the result. I will show you later on during the demonstration. Next, we also have the electromagnetic fields analysis. This analysis is basically to observe the voltage and current density when the current flows. The joule calorific values can also be observed. Capable of couple analysis with heat transfer. I will describe this more later on. Currently, it only supports constant DC current. Like I mentioned before, Discovery Life does support coupling analysis. Supports of the following coupling analysis include the thermal structural coupling analysis, or some might call it thermal stress analysis. You can do a current thermal coupling, and also you can couple the current thermal structure analysis together. When you set the boundary conditions simultaneously, say for example, you apply a thermal load on the center of this plate right here, and then you apply fixed point on this hole right here, which basically a thermal structure coupling has been set together, the boundary condition. The system will automatically detect it and set that simulation as a coupled analysis. So finally, we have the topology optimization analysis. This optimization analysis is basically an optimization method that uses the phase of a structure as a design variable, and based on specific condition determines a lightened shape without lowering the rigidity as much as possible. It is highly flexible and thus in result shows an innovative in shape. The optimized shape can be output with facets and therefore can be used later on as a verification. So Discovery Life function list. This is basically just the summary of what I've just told you just now. We have structure, model, thermal, so on and so forth. Operating environment of ANSYS Discovery Life. Now I'm just going to give you a little bit more information of system requirement, of hardware requirement needed to run ANSYS Discovery Life. For the Discovery, SpaceClaim, and Discovery Life, you need to have Windows, so no Linux. You need to have a Windows 7 and above, the 64-bit version. For the CPU, you can either have Intel or AMD. And for the RAM, you can have at least 4 GB of RAM. The GPU requirement for the SpaceClaim is not really that big. It's not really that big. This is a quite basic requirement. But for Discovery Life, you need to have the NVIDIA graphics card. You cannot use any type of different graphics card on your machine. Otherwise, you cannot run the Discovery Life. You need to specifically have the NVIDIA graphics card. Now, in terms of architecture, you can have either the Kepler, Maxwell, Pascal, or Turing architectures. The Maxwell 2000 Quattro is really recommended. For the video RAM, Discovery SpaceClaim again does not need a high requirement, just 1 GB or more. But for the Discovery Life, 8 GB or more are recommended. Why do you think is Discovery Life really need to run with such a almost high-end GPU? It is because Discovery Life is programmed with the GPU General Purpose Programming Code, CUDA, which is the NVIDIA's own developed and provided programming code. So therefore, because Discovery Life is programmed with this type of coding, therefore Discovery Life does need NVIDIA graphics card. Discovery Life automatically adjusts analysis accuracy according to the video RAM capacity. So say, for example, you have a relatively small capacity of video RAM, the accuracy will be slightly lower. And say, for example, you have a Quattro 4000 GPU with a very large capacity of video RAM, the precision can be really high. So therefore, video RAM of 8 GB or more are recommended. Here we have lists of tested GPU. So basically all of the GPU that you see here can be used to run the Discovery Live. We have the Pascal architecture, Quadro P1000 up to GPU 100, the Maxwell architecture, Kepler architecture, so on and so forth. Okay. So for the technical support of the Discovery Live, the technical support provides a standard support via the Discovery Forum. It is operated by the developer. The language that we use in the Discovery Forum is Principal English only. And there's no additional cost to join, to get involved in this Discovery Forum. Here you can find all of the frequently asked questions and also tutorial. Almost everything about Discovery Live can be found here in the Discovery Forum. Okay, so let's get on with the demonstration. I'm going to show you two types of demonstration. The first one will be the structural analysis, and the second one will be the fluid analysis. Now let's get on with it. First, I'm going to open the Discovery Live. So here we have the GUI of the Discovery Live. When you open it up, you will be presented by these sample models that you can choose from. You can have what kind of simulation that you want to use. But in this case, I'm going to open my own CAD data, which is a bracket. I'm going to simulate the structural analysis here for the first demonstration. So now here we have the bracket, a very relatively simple bracket. This is just to show you like how the relationship between changing the geometry and getting the result happen in the Discovery Live. So let's get on with it. You can go to create solution, and then here on the I want to study, you can select here the structural behavior. Now, as for material, you can choose from different type of material. In this case, I'm going to use stainless steel, and then simply click create. Okay. Now we are already into the simulation part of the Discovery Live. First and foremost, before we start with any calculation, we must assign the boundary condition. So I want to fix these two holes right here. So how am I going to do that? I simply select this surface like so. And then here, I simply click on new fixed spot. That basically means that this hole or the surfaces that I just selected just now will not be moved under any circumstances. That holes will stay in place. So next, I will going to assign a load at the end of our bracket. Now for the load. Again, same procedure, just click on the surface and then click here to a drop down menu and then select new force. As you can see, you can input the value of force right here. Now the force is currently pointing on the Y direction, which is not what I want. So I click here on the plus button. I'm going to apply 0 on the Y direction. But on the X direction, I'm going to apply negative 100 Newton. So currently it's pointing out in the direction that I want. Simply click enter again. So now we are ready to start the simulation. Simply click this play button right here to start the simulation. So just like that, we already have the deformation of our brackets. You can also animate the deformation of our bracket by clicking here. As you can see, moving in this direction, which is where the force is being applied to. And then if you see on this legend at the bottom right side of the GUI of the windows, you can see that the deformation is really small, basically 7.38 times 10 to the power of -3 millimeters. So we can also view the equivalent stress of our bracket simply by choosing here. So now we can inspect our bracket and see more stresses coming from this part and this part of our bracket. Yeah, that's coming from this part of our bracket. But the maximum von Mises stress that is currently that the bracket is currently having is 2.76 megapascal, which is way beyond the yield strength of allowable strength of our material. So you might be thinking that what if we make it a little bit thinner? Maybe that will be more effective or more efficient. So you can simply just click here on the surface. Then you go to the edit. And then as you can see right here, there's a tools that I mentioned before on the SpaceClaims. I'm going to select pull tools. And then I'm just going to simply pull it into the negative X direction. And then there you have it. The stress has already been updated almost instantaneously. Now, as you can see right here, the stress is still way below the yield stress, and therefore this bracket is still safe to be used. And then you might be thinking, what if I cut a hole in this part of our bracket? Because based on the stress contour right here, this is currently having a really low stress. It's a really low stress region. So what if we just cut this middle part of our bracket? You can do so simply by just go to the sketch and then draw maybe simple hole like this. Then again, we go to the pull tool, select these two faces, and simply pull it that way. Just like that, we have just optimized our bracket. And we also get the result that proves that what we are doing is actually correct. So that's basically the essence of Discovery Live. Whatever change you make to the geometry can be instantly verified or instantly validated, because it is instantaneously calculate the new result for the new geometry. So that is really the essence of Discovery Live. So now we are going to move to the CFD analysis or fluid analysis. Simply goes to the file. And then I'm just going to open this geometry. Now we have a relatively simple pipe with two inlets and one outlet right here. Now to select a fluid simulation, simply like before, we go to the create solution, and then we go to the fluid behavior. Type of fluid that we want to choose from. We have a different type of fluid. In this case, we are going to choose water as our fluid. Create a fluid volume for simply mean that what type of fluid analysis that you want to do. Is it internal flow or external flow? In this case, we are going to do the internal flow inside the pipe analysis. Simply click on create. And then right here, we are required to assign the inlet faces and also the outlet faces of our pipe. So I'm just going to simply choose these two opening right here as the inlet, and then this right here as an outlet. And then you can see instantaneously, you can see the result of our fluid. Now automatically the flow velocity is assigned to this two inlet is 0.5 meter per second. But you can simply change that by simply just clicking here. Like for example, you want to put 1.5 meter per second on the first inlet. Therefore, you can see the change is rather instantaneous. Now you can also display a different type of velocity you want to see. You can see the streamlines of the fluids simply by clicking here. Now maybe you can observe something interesting that fits your types of need or analysis. You can increase the counts and also the width of the streamline. Really makes it more easy, depends on your geometry. You can also choose to display a particles of the fluids. See right now, you can see some of the fluids have some sort of backflow here on the pipe. And then here, obviously, some of the fluids does not even move. And then you can also choose to display the vectors of our fluids. Again, you can also configure the display to whatever fits your needs. Increase the length of the vector and maybe increase the count. Again, with the Discovery Live, you still have the customization. You can still have that customization or that geometry flexibility, like I showed you in the structural analysis before. For example, let's say this pipe right here. You can see a difference has been made to the pipe, can be instantaneously displayed on the result of our fluid analysis. Okay, I believe that is basically it on the Discovery Live. So again, the essence of Discovery Live is that you combine the power of design and analysis into one software. And then the speed that the Discovery Live provides is really one of the best features that you can have for either designers or even as the analysis specialist.